Sunday service. Are we talking about the resurrection of Jesus and the gospel? Of course not.
We continue to pray for Kilmore Abrego Garcia, whom the Supreme Court has ordered must be returned home after our government unlawfully kidnapped him to El Salvador.
Yes, it's crying out in deep need, this Hosanna, save us, but it's also a joyful protest. It's people getting so caught up in the moment, y'all. They are taking off their clothes and they are laying their cloaks down on the street. It is drag.
Hey guys, it's Garrett here coming to you live from Daily Divers. It's your Daily Dive Disciple. So I took a little break. So we just had Easter. So I hope you had a great Resurrection Sunday, and we have some shenanigans actually for this. So a couple pastors will watch two different videos today. One is going to go over the gang member, MSC13 gang member Abrego Garcia, and then El Salvador's president's response, and then Jesus was basically doing a drag show, which is interesting. But let's see what kind of shenanigans we have going on here, huh?
This morning we light the candle of peace, hope, and justice for all who are being labeled alien enemies and deported, shackled by fear that they will be next, or waiting for news that their loved one is okay. We continue to pray for Kilmore Abrego Garcia, whom the Supreme Court has ordered must be returned home after our government unlawfully kidnapped him to El Salvador. We lift up Arturo Suarez Trejo.
Kidnapped him to his home country. Interesting. He was a citizen to El Salvador, but we kidnapped him back to his own country. Wow.
Who was denied the chance to meet his newborn daughter and instead sent from Texas Detention Center to El Salvador. And we remember the 236 other men living in cage-like conditions in the terrorism confinement center, despite only 32 of them having been convicted of any serious crimes. Scripture tells us that on Good Friday, Jesus promised a thief hanging beside him that they would be together in paradise. Now, while we don't expect paradise from our government, we do expect due process. While we do not need our leaders to emulate the grace of Jesus, we yearn for any official who wears a cross to speak words that mirror Jesus' mercy and compassion instead of Pontius Pilate's fear and contentment. Jesus declared, "The truth will set you free." So God, make every government official tell the truth. That these detention centers have more in common with concentration camps than with prisons. Because a prison, by definition, operates within a judicial system. A person is arrested, charged, and tried, and if found guilty, sentenced. A concentration camp, on the other hand, functions outside the law. People are detained without a trial, without conviction, held indefinitely, not for what they've done, but for who they are.
Sunday service. Are we talking about the resurrection of Jesus and the gospel? Of course not.
Sorry, wrong church.
No, let's talk about a political issue that he did have actually a stay order. He was supposed to be sent back because he had ties to gang members, actually, and he was involved in stuff. And he had a stay order because he tried to his lawyers basically tried to say that he was going to be at the hands of other rival gang members, is how it happened. But that only is for a certain amount of time, which he violated. So he ended up staying here anyway. And so he was here, and he wasn't supposed to be. And he was involved with one of the most brutal gangs from El Salvador. So no. But let's see what he said that God. He's praying that they tell the truth, right? And so let's kind of show what's going on. What are these prison centers like? Oh my goodness, here he is, the president himself of El Salvador. Oh, look at that. He looks kind of happy. They're shaking hands. Look, they're having cocktails. I believe this is what it looks like there. And he looks pretty comfortable to me. It doesn't look like that he was being tortured, like he tried to say he was. No, he's sipping margaritas in a tropical paradise in El Salvador. Exactly the opposite of what the senator was saying, and what the so-called imposter was really saying, to be honest. So it's kind of crazy. These guys, these aren't churches. They're the political stances, and we know that because some of our funding tax dollars are going to it, right? Going to those churches. It's the only way they can keep afloat. But anyway, so here we're at Sunday service, right? Let's keep going. Let's see what's at another church. So we hear, and so Jesus is doing drag apparently in Jerusalem. So let's kind of
Where are you joining Jesus in moments of drag?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Yes, it's crying out in deep need, this Hosanna, save us, but it's also a joyful protest. It's people getting so caught up in the moment. Y'all, they are taking off their clothes. And they are laying their cloaks down on the street and throwing them down, for heaven's sake. It's wild and fabulous and persisting in the face of power. It is drag.
In a world of pure imagination.
That's why I, along with ChatGPT and AI and DALL-E, created this image of our Palm Sunday graphic that we used this morning. Because, not gonna lie, yeah, thanks Bailey, there it is. So I am not an artiste, but now with AI I am. This event is profound, but irreverent, wise, but lighthearted, cutting in its social commentary, but also kind of silly, weighty, and joyful. What is that if not drag?
Liars! It's garbage.
Yes. Drag is an art form that comes at power from the underside, with satire and irony and farce and productions that are larger than life, as a way to say something meaningful, necessary, and yeah, often kind of controversial. As RuPaul says in the quote that I used for our blurb for this morning, drag is a parody of our society, a sarcastic spoof on culture that allows us to laugh at ourselves, but in a way that is inclusive.
Where do they find these people?
This resistance of oppressive power, whether in ancient times or in our time today, is drag. And it is serious business, and it is wild and boisterous and fabulous. So, friends, as we move into our continued experiencing of what this Sunday might be and mean for us, I leave you to reflect within your spirits on this idea of where are you joining Jesus in moments of drag? Amen.
Is that what Jesus was doing? Was he trying to make a goofy political statement? No, he wasn't. It was an entry of triumphant, of course, but that he was conquering sin, right? He was going to go pay for their sin, redeem us from what we can't do on our own. This is crazy. If you see these churches and you're currently attending these churches, run.
Run away!
You don't have to stay there. That is not a church of God. And it's actually a curse, actually, as we're going to see here next.
I want some more.
What?
Please, sir. I want some more.
I'm going to kind of show you what's going on with Isaiah. Now, this one's I think I just quoted this just last time I did a video, but it stands true. I mean, hey, Isaiah 3, 9 through 12. For the look on their faces bears witness against them. They proclaim their sin like Sodom. They do not hide it. Woe to them. They brought evil on themselves. And other versions say they're parading it, because the Hebrew word there for proclaiming is parading. So they're definitely parading it, it's a show of drag. And they twisted Jesus' triumphant, coming out on the donkey as a sin, which is crazy. Celebrating sin, and not the case at all. And he says, tell the righteous that it'll be well with them, and then they shall eat the fruit of their deeds. Woe to the wicked, it'll be ill with them. For what his hands have dealt out shall be done to him. My people, infants are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, your guides have misled you, and they have swallowed you up in the course of your paths. So clearly, they're confused. But Zephaniah, this is a good one. 3:4 through 5. He says, "Our prophets are fickle and treacherous men. Her priests profane what is holy. They do violence to the law. And the Lord within her is righteous. He does no injustice, but every morning he shows forth his justice. Each dawn he does not fail. But the unjust, no shame." So it's this is they're celebrating their sin. It's an abomination. He foretold this is going to happen. And if we keep reading that passage, actually, he says he cuts them off eventually. You can kind of see that here. If we keep going, he says, "I have cut off the nations. Their battlements are in ruins." In 6, by the way. "I have laid waste their streets so that no one walks in them. Their cities have been made desolate, without man, without inhabitant. And I said, surely they will fear me. You will accept correction, and then your dwelling would not be cut off. But according to all you've appointed against, according to all that I have appointed against you, but all the more they were eager to make all their deeds corrupt." So God kind of relates us to being the city's inhabitants. You're a desert. I'm going to make you a flush garden. And so he's saying that they don't have the Spirit of God in them. Obviously, they're uninhabited. They're desolate. Nothing's inside of them, and they've been laid desolate. And it's horrible. It truly is. It's not a good thing that this stuff happens. And I wish that this wasn't the case, but it is what it is. But anyway, if this helped you, please like, comment, share, subscribe, so we can help get these videos out there, as the YouTube algorithm is ever so restrictive. But anyway, have a great day, guys. See ya to the next time. Bye bye.